published 11:36 EDT, the 1st of September 2017, updated 12:40 EDT, the 1st of September 2017. Former head of the Roman Catholic Church in England, Cardinal Cormac Murphy O'Connor has died aged 85. The former head of the Roman Catholic Church in England, Cardinal Cormac Murphy O'Connor, has died aged 85 after battling cancer. Cardinal Cormac was rushed to hospital yesterday after his health took a defining turn and passed away last night. He rose up the ranks of the Catholic Church to become the 10th Archbishop of Westminster in 2000, but it was during this role that the public spotlight fell upon him when it emerged he had failed to act on allegations that a fellow priest was a pedophile. Cardinal Cormac refused to bow to pressure to resign and was later cleared by an inquiry. Despite being known as a fairly liberal Catholic, he was particularly strongly opposed to abortion, once comparing modern-day terminations to Nazi eugenics. He also supported Michael Howard's proposal to lower the legal age of fetus termination from 24 weeks to 20. The Cardinal had been Bishop of Arundel and Brighton for 22 years when he was elevated to the position of Archbishop of Westminster, and leader of Roman Catholics in England and Wales, in 2000. He was created a cardinal by Pope John Paul II in 2001, an imposing 6 feet 4 inches tall, but with a warm and personable manner. The cardinal was relatively unknown when he became the Archbishop of Westminster. He had a tough act following in the footsteps of his predecessor, the charismatic Cardinal Basil Hume, who had become something of a media star in his long reign. Cardinal Murphy O'Connor was to continue the tradition of Cardinal Hume in continuing the integration of the Catholic faith into the mainstream of British life. Cardinal Cormac, left and right in red robes, was rushed to hospital yesterday after his health took a defining turn and passed away last night. He was to make history by becoming the first member of the Catholic hierarchy to preach to an English monarch in more than 500 years when he gave a sermon at a service on the Sandringham estate in 2002, but by far the biggest test of his reign was the firestorm over child sex abuse in the Roman Catholic Church. The Cardinal's own role in the scandal was called into question, including his decision, while Bishop of Arundel and Brighton, to move Father Michael Hill to the chaplaincy at Gatwick Airport in 1985 when he was warned that the priest was a threat to children. Hill was jailed in 2002 for 5 years after he pleaded guilty to 6 offenses of indecent assault against 3 boys. This included the abuse of a teenager with learning difficulties who went to the airport's chapel after missing a flight. Hill had already served a jail term for similar offenses. Explaining the appointment to Gatwick Airport, the Cardinal said he had received conflicting psychiatric reports and believed Hill would not have access to children. He apologized on several occasions to Hill's victims, saying he had made a grave mistake and that he had been naive and ignorant in his handling of allegations of sex abuse involving Roman Catholic priests. The sting and criticism over the affair from children's campaigners was to stiffen the Cardinal's resolve to stamp out abuse in the Church in England and Wales. The Nolan Report, commissioned by the Cardinal in 2001, and drawn up by the retired Roman Catholic law lord, led to a stringent set of guidelines to prevent child sex abuse in the Catholic Church in England and Wales. The Cardinal's own outlook on life, and his kindly manner, were formed by his own extremely fortunate and happy childhood. He mixed a good martini cocktail and had a great-grandfather who ran a liquor business. The life and times of Cardinal Cormac was born in Reading in 1932 into a devoutly Catholic family, the 5th son of Dr. George Murphy O'Connor, and his wife Ellen, who were both Irish-born. His double-barreled surname, he later explained, dated back to the time when his great-grandfather ran a liquor business with a Murphy. One day, the childless Murphy offered to leave the company to O'Connor's eldest son on the condition he took the name Murphy O'Connor. The Cardinal's father and mother attended Mass every morning and every evening before his father's surgery at 6 p.m., at which the whole family would kneel down and say the rosary together. His vocation to the priesthood came early, he recounted, when as a young boy he told his doctor father as he accompanied him on the rounds in a car that he wanted to become a priest. Cardinal Cormac watches on as his successor as Archbishop of Westminster. Vincent Nichols is greeted by Pope Francis in Rome. The Cardinal was educated at the Presentation College, Reading, and as a boarder at Prior Park College, Bath, a school run by the Christian Brothers where he said they relied too much on the strap as a means of discipline. He went to Rome at the age of 18 to train for the priesthood. 2 of his 4 brothers were already at the English college training for the priesthood, but his parents gladly let him go. He lived for 7 years as a student at the English College in Rome, taking a degree in philosophy and theology at the Gregorian University. He was ordained as a priest in Rome on October 28, 1956. The Cardinal later spoke with enthusiasm of his experience in Rome in the 1950s, a city of pasta, pizza and pavement cafes, bicycle thieves and religious institutions packed with young and idealistic men and women. It was in Rome that he learned to mix a good martini cocktail, he told Radio 4's Desert Island Discs. His first parish as a new priest was at the Corpus Christi in Portsmouth, where he served an area including the naval dockyard. He was transferred to the Sacred Heart Parish, Fareham, as an assistant in 1963 and in 1970 was made parish priest at the Immaculate Conception Parish in Portswood, Southampton. The Cardinal had a strong interest in medical ethics and personal morality, social justice and Christian unity. He was also concerned as a committed parish priest for the welfare and dignity of ordinary men and women. His tenure in Southampton was cut short in 1971 when he was made rector of the English College in Rome. He was made Bishop of Arundel and Brighton in 1977. His position as bishop of the area covering Gatwick Airport meant that it fell to him to be the first to greet Pope John Paul II when he landed there on his visit to Britain in May 1982. The Falklands War was underway, and as the first up the steps to enter the plane, Bishop Murphy O'Connor found the Pope looking apprehensive. "I said all will be well," or something like that. He just smiled, and from then on, things just got better and better, the Cardinal later said. The Cardinal had a strong interest in medical ethics and personal morality, social justice and Christian unity. He was also concerned as a committed parish priest for the welfare and dignity of ordinary men and women. In 2005, the Cardinal backed the then Tory leader Michael Howard's support for a reduction of the legal time limit for abortion, making the issue an unwelcome topic of debate in the general election for Tony Blair. In a move supported by many non-Catholic figures, the Cardinal also called for a new statutory body to rule on the ethical and moral challenges of genetic and embryo research, warning Britain was in danger of sleepwalking into a form of eugenics. In spite of his uncompromising stance over pro-life issues, the Cardinal was also noted for his understanding and compassion towards members of his flock who are struggling to fulfill the exacting demands of the Church. His work with ordinary parishioners in his early years as a parish priest between Portsmouth and Southampton led him to observe about marriage. Some marriages seem destined to be easier than others. If 35% are made in heaven, another 35% are a real struggle. And sadly, another 35% may break up for one reason or another. He also ventured views verging on feminist by the conservative standards of the Roman Catholic Church, questioning whether women's gifts of wisdom and discernment were used enough in the Catholic Church. The Cardinal also stood with the liberal wing of the Catholic Church in supporting the use of condoms in Africa, where it prevented the spread of HIV AIDS. His commitment to social justice was seen in his decision in 2005 to lead the Make Poverty History March in Edinburgh alongside Cardinal Keith O'Brien, leader of Scotland's Roman Catholics. The event was intended to put pressure on world leaders meeting for the G8 summit to eradicate poverty and bring about trade justice for the world's poor. He retired as Archbishop of Westminster in May 2009 and became Archbishop Emeritus of the diocese. The Cardinal became seriously ill in August 2017, and was admitted to the hospital, with the Catholic community being asked to pray for him. His death at the age of 85 after a battle with cancer was confirmed on Friday. In a message to Cardinal Vincent Nichols, the current Archbishop of Westminster, published on the Catholic Church's website on Friday afternoon, Cardinal Murphy O'Connor said he had been privileged to serve the Diocese of Westminster. He said, "At this time, the words I pray every night are never far from my thoughts. Into your hands, Lord, I commend my spirit. Please tell them that I am at peace and have no fear of what is to come. I have received many blessings in my life, especially from my family and friends. I thank God for the many priests, religious and lay faithful who have helped and sustained me in my episcopal life. Nor should I forget the many Anglican and Free Church colleagues whose friendship I have valued very much. Above all, as I now commend myself to the loving mercy of God, I ask them all to pray for me as I remember and pray for them."